Today is Saturday, September 17th, 2016. And today I want to talk to you about the Donald Trump birther movement and its allegations of racism. Hillary Clinton saying that he was the one that started it. A lot of different things. The media hopping all over it, trying to discredit Trump yet again. Now, before I get into my thoughts about it and the ensuing liberal massive triggering that resulted, I want to show you the actual clip from NBC Nightly News that they ran. And after we show the clip, I want to just break down the lies that were in it and the inconsistencies, and also show you some video evidence of my own that I've been able to dig up from back then in '08, and also from more recent times that disputes what is in this NBC Nightly News clip. So go ahead and roll it.
Good evening. Today, Donald Trump publicly acknowledged what most Americans have accepted as the truth for years, that President Barack Obama was born in the United States. Trump was an outspoken voice of the so-called birther movement, which challenged Obama's legitimacy as president. Today, without apology, Mr. Trump admitted the president is a natural-born American, and in the same breath managed to wrongly accuse Hillary Clinton of first launching the discredited movement. Tonight, Clinton is leading the growing outrage among Democrats. We have two reports tonight. Let's start with NBC's Hallie Jackson. Hallie, good evening.
Good evening, Lester. Among the many conspiracy theories Donald Trump's talked about, he's pursued none as intently as this one. Few topics as central to his early political identity. Even after his campaign tried to speak for him these last couple weeks, we heard nothing definitive from the candidate himself behind me on the campaign trail in Miami until today. Donald Trump, today, finally submitting to the truth.
President Barack Obama was born in the United States, period.
A 7-second statement after 28 minutes of buildup, trying to reverse a position Trump's held for 5 years, championing a conspiracy theory.
Why doesn't he show his birth certificate?
I'm starting to wonder myself whether or not he was born in this country.
So I have people that actually have been studying it, and they cannot believe what they're finding.
He gave a birth certificate. Whether or not that was a real certificate, because a lot of people question it, I certainly question it.
Today, in his reversal, Trump didn't admit he was wrong, didn't say he was sorry, and didn't tell the truth when he said this.
Hillary Clinton and her campaign of 2008 started the birther controversy. I finished it.
Neither Clinton nor her campaign made Barack Obama's citizenship an issue. And as he sarcastically said in the Oval Office today, neither did the president himself.
I was pretty confident about where I was born. I think most people were as well.
The president brushing off Trump like he did after releasing his long-form birth certificate in 2011.
We can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing?
It's not just what the GOP nominee said today, but how and where he said it. The opening of his new D.C. hotel, a photo op with cameras allowed, but not questions from journalists who watched the stage collapse after Trump walked off.
Finally agreeing to admit that President Obama was born in the United States, that's meant to gain him support with white college-educated voters in those key battleground states.
Trump trying to undo years of perpetuating a lie with a single sentence, a single question remaining. Will it work? Hallie Jackson, NBC News, Miami.
And we know who Donald is. For 5 years, he has led the birther movement to delegitimize our first black president. His campaign was founded on this outrageous lie.
Okay, so you see what's going on there. Now, this here just reads as a hit piece because there's a lot of things that were not said in this piece, and there were a lot of things that were said incorrectly. And it's not really trying to hide the fact that it's pretty biased against Trump. Now, first of all, I remember 2008 like it was yesterday. I remember the whole birther movement and how it started. It started with Hillary Clinton. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did. And if it was not from her specifically, Hillary Rodham Clinton, she sure didn't do anything to try and stop it. It ain't like now when she's going across the country talking about, oh, well, Donald Trump said that Obama was not born here. It's racist and all this, that, and the third. None of that was going on back in 2008. And Twitter was around back in 2008. I'm not quite sure she was on it, but the point is that she could have said some things back then to distance herself away from the whole birther movement and not paint Obama in a bad light. But you see, back then she was competing against him to try and become the president. It wasn't like the way it is now where he's helping her out. Like Bill Clinton, there's been allegations and rumors that Bill Clinton is like, hey, we can go and let you get 2012. That's fine. But make sure you support my wife in 2016. And here we are. He's supporting her. He's stumping hard. When she had her little incident, her kerfuffle in New York where she fell out, he was right there, Obama that is, to take up her slack. While she has to be on bed rest or whatever she's doing, he's out there campaigning for her. He's paying her back. He's paying it forward, so to speak. The whole point here is that Hillary Clinton could have squashed the birther movement as far as it coming from her camp back in 2008, but she didn't do that, right? When she had this tweet about it being racist, you have my man here, James Asher. Now, James Asher is kind of like a political kind of guy in Washington, D.C., and he's saying that, hey, you contacted me to try to figure out what's going on with the birther stuff back then, right? There was a memo or email sent around through the Clinton campaign back in the 2008 days where the whole Obama birther movement was bandied about. They were trying to get that out there. Now, I wasn't really as involved with politics as I am right now, but even back then, I remember that whole situation. And I remember Trump kind of piggybacking off of the whole situation. I remember that.
Hillary Clinton to come out and criticize anybody for spreading the rumors about Barack Obama when it all started
on 60 Minutes.
When it all started with her and her campaign passing things around in the Democratic primary. Rich, now listen.
He says he is.
The Republicans are wrong for doing what they're doing. This started with Hillary Clinton, and it was spread by the Clinton team.
We're just telling
back
the
in
truth.
2008.
Sorry. I don't even know.
That is the truth.
Harold,
I don't believe. But Mika, you can't tell me to stop when the two of you are making comments. It'd be different if you have if there's a basis, an actual evidentiary basis for what you're saying, then I would agree with.
Well, that they're the ones that spread it in 2008.
That spread what in 2008?
That Barack Obama. Barack Obama may not be a Christian.
Well, we should ask Heilman this question because he's the official historian of the 2008 campaign.
I don't recall that, but if you're telling me that was the case, I just don't recall.
John Heilman?
It was the case.
It was the case. Thank you, John Heilman.
And didn't she go on 60 Minutes and not actually say no? She said, well, he says he is.
I'm offering my.
What was that?
I'm affirming the Scarborough-Brzezinski.
Okay, dude.
So to have Hillary Clinton going around saying that Trump is trying to delegitimize the first black president is completely ridiculous. All of that is completely ridiculous because she was doing the exact same thing when they were running against each other. So was Michelle Obama going against Hillary. So was Bill going against Obama. It was a battle. It's the same kind of thing that went on during the Republican primary this year. So for her to say those things are really hypocritical because she was one of the chief people that wanted to put the information out there about Obama to delegitimize this whole situation. But this whole thing is just pretty simple. It's all politics. You know, Hillary will say pretty much whatever she can to get the upper hand over Donald Trump the same way she did back in 2008 to try and fail to get the upper hand over Barack Hussein Obama, right? That's all that it is. It's politics. It's simple. And if she loses, then all of this stuff will go away. She won't hate Trump or nothing like that. And I don't think Trump hates her either. It's politics. So that's pretty much all it is. You take what she says with a grain of salt. You just look at all the evidence and come up with your own conclusion. Now, liberals are really taking this to heart. They're not looking at it as politics. They're looking at it like this is real. Trump is a racist, sexist, xenophobe. He hates black people. All these different things. They take it to heart. And this is especially illustrated when they got their panties in a collective bunch. They get their jimmies completely rustled when this picture of Mr. Donald Trump came out. When you got Jimmy Fallon messing his hair up, liberals are like, how can you humanize this monster? How can you do this? I never watched the Fallon show again. Just ridiculous stuff. And it's like, look, man, Jimmy Fallon is not like, Walter Cronkite or somebody like that, like an investigative journalist. He's really like a comedian and late night talk show host. He's not even Letterman. Letterman may get kind of deep into your crawl a little bit, but Fallon ain't like that. Fallon's kind of a nice guy. He's not going to, give you hard hitting questions and stuff like that. Leave that for Lester Holt during the actual debate. And Trump, during the actual interview with Jimmy Fallon, repeated his request to not have any kind of moderators with the debate coming up at the end of this month on NBC with Lester Holt, with Hillary Clinton. Obviously, he was like, look, let's just have it stand up and let's just talk like that. And he's saying that it's unfair that Lester Holt is going to have a lot of pressure on him to be real hard hitting with the questions during the debate, because they said that Matt Lauer gave him softball questions. But Trump said, and I agree, that Matt Lauer was pretty tough on both. He said the questions that needed to be asked, and that's it. He wasn't really like, trying to favor Trump or trying to favor Hillary. He was a pretty kind of a neutral kind of guy, right? And Matt Lauer is not even really that kind of dude to be soft on people. I mean, I thought he went kind of hard on Ryan Lochte during their whole kerfuffle because of the public outrage towards Ryan Lochte. So to say that Matt Lauer, out of all people, was giving Trump softball questions is ridiculous, or that he was treating them unfairly in a nice way is ridiculous. And to give Lester Holt that added pressure is also ridiculous. Jimmy Fallon is not that guy. He didn't go on his show to be in a debate situation. Jimmy Fallon was just, having a good time with him, cracking a few jokes, doing the impressions. It's like to expect Eddie Murphy to interview you and then give you hard-hitting questions like Walter Cronkite, Bob Ley from ESPN 360 or whatever that is. He's not going to do it. So liberals just need to kind of get it together and tighten up, man, and laugh a little bit, because everything in the world is not so serious. Trump is not like the next coming of Hitler. If you really looked at his policies, you would probably think that he's more of a liberal than anything else. If you really look at it, he's talking about, letting transgenders use the restroom. He's talking about paid leave for women when they, when they become pregnant, all across the board. He's talking about minimum wage hikes. He does things that I don't like all the time, but people are so caught up in the media hype on what Donald Trump is, they don't even really take time to get to know who he is. So that's pretty much all I got. To sum it all up, Hillary Clinton talking about Donald Trump is a racist for spreading the Obama birther movement. She got to look at her own past, because there's allegations of her bringing up the potential birthplace of Obama being Indonesia, maybe Kenya. You got people that have come out and said that people in her campaign were spreading emails, and somebody came out and said that, yeah, somebody spread the email, but they were promptly fired. That happened today, actually, or yesterday, where the person came out and said that, yeah, somebody did spread that email. And I placed the actual news clip on the screen before you, and also in the description box below. They said they were fired, but that right there proves that Hillary and or her campaign were the ones that were involved with the whole birther movement to try and get the leg up over Obama. And obviously they failed back in 2008. So you can't just put it on Donald Trump like he's the bad guy in the situation. I think Hillary, in her statement earlier to the group of black women, was just trying to pander to them, trying to say that, oh, look at what Trump did. He was trying to delegitimize the first black president. He's a racist. Oh, one thing I want to talk about this group that she was speaking in front of, Hillary Clinton, that is. Did you notice that logo? It's like, what's this, the Black Women's Agenda, whatever this is. You see this logo, it's like of a family. Where's the man? Where's the man at? And it's kind of ironic that you got a Democrat speaking in front of this group. The Democrats who have systematically removed the father from the black household, because before 1960, when we voted pretty much majority conservative Republican, you had an 80% two-parent household rate in the black community, and now you got 72% single-parent household rate in the black community. Is there any kind of correlation there? I digress. Point is that Hillary Clinton can't really talk when she's got skeletons in her own closet talking about Barack Obama not being a U.S. citizen, maybe coming from Indonesia, maybe coming from Kenya. If you're going to talk about Donald Trump doing the same thing, look at your own closet first. So what do you think? Do you think that this whole situation with the birther movement is blown out of proportion, is being dug up again, just like the dead horse of David Duke, to try and make Donald Trump look bad because, hey, you know, you saw that Hillary had a bad few weeks here, a bad whole campaign really, but definitely a bad couple of weeks, you know, falling out on the campaign trail, coughing up a lung 4 minutes, coughing twice, having 2 coughing fits in one day, having to leave the campaign trail. I've never seen nothing like that. I've never seen anybody actually take a vacation from the campaign trail like she did this time. But hey, you know, I guess when you're Hillary Clinton, you may have Parkinson's disease that you got to take a breather every now and again, but I digress. But do you think that this is blown out of proportion? It's the media trying to they're trying to find something to make Donald Trump look bad because they're scared he's going to actually win. Or do you think that this situation is righteous? You know, Donald Trump is a racist, he's a sexist, he's a xenophobe. If that's your assertion, then give me some more evidence beyond just the talking points that the Hillary Clinton campaign has come out with. And if you want to quote the Hillary Clinton campaign, then you must also look at the people that were and or are still in the Hillary Clinton campaign that have said things about Obama not necessarily being a U.S. citizen, maybe coming from Indonesia or Kenya. Whatever your comments are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.